Welcome back to Building Solid Foundations. This is Steve Matley, your host. Today we're talking to Dennis Sulky in the studio. And Dennis has been sharing his journey of going through life, not quite completing school, and then having an entire career in a life and going back to school 30 years later and starting over. And so before the break, we kind of left off. He was going back to his graduate degree to finally get that architecture degree finished. So you came to New School and you started a 3-year master's degree program. And you are probably a little older than the average age of most students in that program. Is that true?
Oh, yes, I was. Quite a bit the oldest, yeah.
And now did that cause any anxiety or uncomfortableness, or was it just pretty seamless?
For me, it was just being extraordinarily tired at the end of the day, and the amount of mental effort to put in as a senior individual.
Yeah, so they have the old saying, you're a senior in college, but in this case, you were actually a senior in college.
Citizen,
senior citizen in college. That's right. Okay, but you finished that up and you graduated.
Yes.
And you got through your thesis, everything's done. So you finally, how many years later was it you completed that compared to your intended completion date?
So my intended completion would have been 1985.
Okay.
And my actual completion was 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Okay.
31 years.
31 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what would you say to someone out there that has unfinished business, whether it's a degree program or a business startup or a project they were going to finish that figures it's been too long, it's just there's no sense in this, or I'm too old now? What would you say to them?
I would say that, if you quit college, the statistics say that you'll never go back. But the statistics are not immutable. If you have the drive that you could go back, you can do it at any age.
Right, and so here's the thing with statistics. Statistics are based, you take all these samples, you plot them all out, and it creates this nice bell curve or whatever. And everybody focuses on that, what the average is. Well, this is the average, this is the median, whatever it is. And so that must be the way it is. And they forget, well, that is only that way because there was some outliers.
They just throw us out.
And so you can be one of those outliers.
That's
you
right.
can be that 1, 2, 3, 4 of those dots that are way out on the outside of that distribution curve that did go back.
Yes.
And not only went back, but finished.
And finished well, too.
Right. So at this point, that doesn't make you a licensed architect. You have to take certain licensing exams. And architecture is one of those professions that has an extremely difficult professional licensing exam process. And you don't just go in and take a test. So what does the licensing look like?
Yes, it's a 3-part process. First, you have to get the professional degree. And the next part of the process is 3,700 hours of professional experience documented with architecture employment.
Now, all those years being a draftsperson probably counted for a lot of that.
They counted for, they have a special program, the portfolio program for us seniors, and I was able to enable that and use my old experience, which was 30 years old.
Okay.
And then
but drafting is drafting.
Yeah. And also I had the other type of programming experience and other construction management experiences.
And an early adopter of CAD.
And a very early adopter of CAD.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, a digital native with a TRS-80 when I was 16 years old.
Okay.
But that's another side story. And then also take the 6 national exams and 1 state exam.
7 different exams.
7 different exams.
And what your progress so far?
My progress is I have 2 more federal exams to go, and I have the 1 state exam.
So four of the 7 exams are done. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're getting really close to the actual finish line where you can call yourself a licensed architect.
Yes. And I have studied now for another one of my exams, and I'm ready to schedule that. So
great.
As soon as I can schedule it, I'll be scheduling.
Okay. And so if you were to lay odds, your probability of actually completing that and getting your license, what would you say that is right now?
I'd say it's about 90% that I can get that done in a year.
In a year? Okay.
Yeah.
But probably 100% you're going to get it done
within 2
at some
years.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before you die. Okay.
Yeah, before
okay. Right. And that's a key thing, because the day that you pass that last exam and you can call yourself officially an architect, What's that going to feel like?
That's going to feel like a 40-year achievement. That's
Right.
going to be something huge, huge thing.
Okay.
Lifetime goal.
Lifetime goal.
Yeah.
And so if you're out there, you've got that stuff hanging out there. It's never too late. So I've taught in multiple schools. Now, I took a long way through education too, and that was mostly financial. Well, some of it was academic. When I graduated high school, I was in the half of the class that makes the top half possible. So there wasn't a lot of colleges looking for me. So I went to community college, and I did okay there. I found out that the more I had to pay to go to school, the better I did in school. Funny how that works, right?
That is funny.
Yeah, the commitment level, right?
Yeah.
And so then I transferred to a private university, and I did pretty well there. I got good grades, and then I earned my cords, and then I had a break, and then I went back and took my master's degree. But this wasn't all seamless. I had this process where I would pay for what I could pay. I'd go to school, and I'd do all the classes I could until I ran out of money. And when I ran out of money, I'd leave school. I'd go work 2-3 jobs, just kill myself, get caught up, get a little bit ahead, go pay for the next few classes, take the next few classes. And it took me over 15 years to finish up my master's degree doing it that way. But I did finish. And to the date, nobody's really asked how long it took me. Nobody cared.
How many catalog changes?
Yeah,
did you
they
have?
didn't care. You know, they just want to know I have the degree.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So wherever you are out there, what do you say to somebody that hasn't finished school, Dennis? What are you going to tell them if they have that life goal? In your case, it wasn't just finishing school; it was getting that license.
Yes, and even though your life moves on, if you really have the goal to go get your degree, you can do it. And there's so many options. We have online options now.
Yep.
Complete
You don't
online.
have to leave home.
Yeah.
You can do it at your
for
own
our
pace.
master's degree at our college,
We have a
completely
master's
online.
degree at New School that's a 1 calendar year, asynchronous online
Yeah.
that you can do. So we're going to have to wrap this conversation up. Dennis, I want to thank you for being on the show. Always fascinating, and I hope if you're out there, it encouraged you to get after whatever it is you need to get after and get your life goal done. I'm Steve Matley on Building Solid Foundations Radio. We're on KCAA at 1050 AM, 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM. Catch us on your favorite podcast platform, iHeart, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google, Apple, and others. And we will see you next week on Building Solid Foundations Radio.